those? How can there be so many? Let's go.
Your life is mine.
Halt! Parley in honor of Dren, if you please. If you would be so kind as to have a word with us. I have been chosen by the remaining members of our house to speak for all. We were most honored by your intention to free us. We are in seclusion, so it's best to observe this situation without any unnecessary interference or risk to ourselves. I assure you, we will be more than happy to assist you in Alabastra. Loath as we are to get our hands dirty in this scuffle, perhaps we can offer a more indirect assistance. Simply carry forth and destroy Witch Knight Myrna, and her dreadful Prismere Chantry, of course. Prince Sidon is a Fae of noble tradition. He would never raise a hand against the High King, just as he would never bow before the Tuatha. We've been gifted with so much. It's only proper that we are also immortal, so as to put our gifts to the most use. Conversely, poor children of dust have so little, but are given barely a moment to live. How kind the world is. How Gadflow came to command such respect is beyond even our wisest. He was little more than a jester at the Winter Court. But he said he found the voice of Tirnoch, and she led him to power. And it seems he was correct. As the Fae are above mortals, the House of Pride reigns above their fellow Fae, sharing our wisdom, our grace, and our humility. Vengeance is such a sloppy, boorish house. Marvelous fighters, of course, but simply crude. They all feel that the world has wronged them somehow. And perhaps it did. How else would they end up in such a hateful house? Myself? Why, this one is merely the lowest ranked of our house, and yet we have been chosen as the speaker for the Fae of Pride. To us falls the honor of acting as liaison to your mortal army. Your charming, well-bred, and simply lovely army. The Tuatha bred in our lands before we realized what change they truly represented. Certainly we all share a distaste for mortals, but few of us ever hunted them. We eagerly anticipate your success. We are waiting. We are waiting. We are waiting.
Well done, child of dust. You've killed the immortal defender and liberated a house full of arrogant backstabbers. I should thank you for exposing the disloyal amongst my kin. But then, I have so much to thank you for. Pride? Their betrayal was inevitable. But soon you faced the House of Vengeance, and their loyalty to Tianok is absolute. Pure. Instinct. The goddess of mercy awakens. And with every step you take into my homeland, she comes that much closer to walking our world and purging your kind. So, welcome to Alabastra. It shall be the death of you once more.
We have seen our champion bested, our advantage lost, and our minds are cleared. Bravo to you, champion. House of Pride, in our ineffable wisdom, renounces the Tuatha and demands that you accept our immediate surrender. Your army is welcome here. We trust our benevolence will be well remembered should Gadflow be dethroned. We thank you kindly, and our mages have already been assisting your army in their march into Alabastra. We trust you do not object. Most excellently spoken. You have the commanding presence of a young Aegon, who once also bore the pleasure of our august company. Allow us to welcome you to Alabastra. We trust your visit will be eventful. Yes?
The House of Pride opened its gates and welcomed us as honorary champions. They say it's simple hospitality, but I suspect we have you to thank. Now is the difficult part. We can hold Cluricon, even push a little into Alabastra, but we don't have the forces to mount a siege on Gadflow. Once the House of Pride gives their word, they'll never break it. At least, not while it looks like we're winning. Our real problem is that we can't march the army through Alabastra. Not in formation, at least. This will call for smaller groups. Where armies have been fated to fail, you have the chance to succeed. But you won't be alone. The army will secure a base at the mouth to Alabastra. Meanwhile, the 5 of us will split up and infiltrate quick and quiet as we can. Meet at the House of Vengeance, on Gadflow's doorstep. From there, we strike at Bale, the heart of his empire. I'm sure you know more about it than I do. After all, you were here last. That's where we'll find Gadflow, and where we'll put an end to this whole war. I hope you're ready, this time. Now that you've driven off the Tuatha, those House of Pride fools don't even want to acknowledge they ever served Gadflow. Disgusting little turncoats. but useful ones to have on our side, as long as we keep an eye on them. More than you'd think. But I promise I'll explain it all to you. Maybe once Gadflow's dead. I'll see you in Alabastra.
Hope you've got better luck this time, eh?
There's nothing to gain by waiting. Let's move! I'll see you in Alabastra.
I need to talk with you, but not here. I'll find you in Alabastra. When you and I came to Alabastra, we were looking for the source of the Prismere's power. I never found it, but I think you did, and that's why you died. The frosted gem at the center of Alabastra, full of Prismere. But now it's a lot more full of enemies than it was when we snuck in there. Gone, gutted, and good riddance to them. That'll teach them to stand on the wrong side of a war. You did kill them all, right? I've put together a few facts about your death, and I think I know something grave. But not here. I don't want to cause a panic. I'll give them the slip and talk with you a little later.
We're not going to stop Gadflow by just standing here and chatting. You should have seen Alabastra at its prime. Serene and beautiful as a sky full of stars. Bale was the seat of the Winter Court. Every bit as cold as Issa is warm. But they're both beautiful in their own ways. Doesn't look like there was much of the House of Pride left to save. And I can't imagine they were happy about a mortal doing the saving, either. The Cur's the closest thing vengeance has to a leader anymore. A Fae so consumed with hatred that he's little more than a beast. If you're going to get into Bale, the Cur has to die. Lead the way. I'll meet you at the House of Vengeance. I'll see you at the House of Vengeance.
Next, we move on to Alabastra. The Pale Country, once the peaceful home to the Winter Court. Now Gadflow squats in her heart like a rat in the flesh. My homeland will not suffer this indignity. Together, we must extract the Tuatha, even if it means the end of my people. Bale, the icy heart of my people, with bridges of woven stone and ice. It sickens me to think of what Gadflow's people have done to it. House of Pride, our shining beacon. Now its light is dim and faltering, but it still stands against the darkness, as it always has. Before Gadflow's rise, he was a battered whelp of a Fae. Now his suffering has only added to his power. And here he keeps a stable of trolls. But I can't be sure if they're his pets or his lovers. Death, pain, blood, and unpleasant answers.
Welcome to Alabastra, hero. It truly is a fine day when I can say I greeted the hero of Mel Sincere. It needs something.
Hello?
My loved ones back home won't believe I met the real hero. Bring us a healer, please. I can barely recall what things were like before all this slaughter and killing. I can barely recall. My loved ones back home won't believe I met the real hero. I can barely recall what things were like before all this slaughter and killing. Hey, you're the hero of Mel Sincere. I've heard all about you. Private Eyeless Ilva at your service. Don't have much for supplies, but you're welcome to them. We've survived 2 night raids, but we lost our healer and our weaponsmith in the confusion. And don't even mention the mercenaries. I'm skilled with a bow, but not enough to defeat an entire band of Tuatha, and there aren't many others who can fight. I like where I am and what I do, and I have no interest in changing. Made the mistake of changing things once, but one can always change things back. Legend has it that the wall surrounding Alabastra forms a perfect and natural spiral.
Hello? Praise Lyria! I thought you'd never arrive. Welcome to Camp Moondown. Are you with Captain Ancilla's company? It took more deaths than I wished to admit to secure the pass between Chloricon and Alabastra. Now that it belongs to the Alfar, we intend to hold it. Moondown is the best position in the valley. If it falls, we fall with it. The war is not what I expected. I missed the Battle of Mel Sincere. Only action I've seen until now has been escorting healers and weaponsmiths. I'm no warrior. I'm an Alfar noble turned bodyguard. Even more self-absorbed than a knave of pride over there. Ancilla was ordered to bring his men to reinforce Moondown, but he hasn't come. His name is Corm, added to our outfit in Mel Sincere after our previous healer was, I'll spare you the details. It's refreshing to find a person who loves what they do so much. I heard he was promoted once, but then found a way to get demoted. Anyhow, Ilva's a good man, and merchant too. Feel free to ask him if you need to buy something. Anella Saf is one of ours, though she doesn't act like it. Her work makes up for her personality. We need soldiers, not heroes. Without help, we won't last long on this ridge. Still, any help is something. Will you lend a hand? Our commander and his Ariad rushed ahead to Shadow Pass, and the enemy moved in to divide us. Most of us left behind are dead, and the wounded might as well be. Each Tuatha attack is bigger, more brutal than the last. We need fresh sword arms, lots of them. Thank you. Without you, we could not... No! That's a Tuatha now! Come! Goodbye. That should give you a taste of what we've been up against. Tuatha see this camp as sacrilege. Thank you for your help. The tales of your courage are true. Trav pushed through it, along with Camp Moondown, without a look back. Once the Ariad surged ahead, Moondown was left vulnerable and Tuatha attacked our camp. That I don't know. Fate has thrown so much hardship our way. Tuatha took our healer. The weaponsmith ran off. The mercenaries deserted us when the gold ran out. They're camped on the land bridge to the south, but they're not going anywhere while the Tuatha hold Shadow Pass. If you rescue Colm, our injured could fight again, and we might stand a chance. Raiders seized him 2 nights ago. It was dark, but I'm certain I saw them head to Glass Pillar Caves. Somewhere in the depths of Glass Pillar Caves, a cavern to the east, off the Cluricon Road. Goodbye. I must stay at my post here. Speak with Private Ilva, my second, if you need anything. Goodbye.
Hello, mortal. I am the Knave of Pride. Wait a moment. The hero of Melson Shear. Here to offer your services. You have impeccable timing. I have some Bulgans that need to be disposed of. I was sent to Camp Moondown to help assess the situation. There are greater things at stake. I'm just looking to move on by completing these menial tasks, or having someone complete them for me. I hear she has little experience, but I have better things to do than chat with or about those beneath me. They're everywhere. Big red faces. The stuff of nightmares. The Bolgan masters use them as foot soldiers when they can. They compelled the Bolgan to fight. If you're in the mood, locate these Bolgan masters. Shouldn't be too difficult for the hero of Melsenshire. Well, get to work then, hero. And come see me once you've thwarted the threat. They're a special breed of mage. Real nasty. The Bolgan Masters control the Bolgans. Hence the name. Not sure, but they're about. Always seem to turn up whenever we're desperately clinging to life. It's a lovely arrangement. Goodbye. I'm still giddy. The hero of Melsenshire. It's an honor just speaking with you. Goodbye.
With horrors, screams, and ghostly face, we leave blood in a graven place. The forest black and nighttime sky, the blood that pours forth from your eye. A feast for maggots, craven all, that eat the dying when they fall. Instead of vibrant fighting flesh that fights the barghest and the thresh, that knows the plight of Seelie Fae, you who walked the Niralim's way, and reckon fates of mortal dust, and keep an oath or break a trust. We hunger for your corpse once more, to hear your cries and anguished roar.
Ready to die.
Cycle!
I liked fighting for Captain Canwin. She's one of the good ones. They're a Bolgan about. Like Tuatha weren't bad enough. Goron was right to order us out of Moondown. You can't walk from here to Shadow Pass without tripping over Tuatha. I liked fighting for Captain Canwan.